you have your notes ready?
Everything I need. What are yours?
Joey B.
Shut the fuck up.
That's the first thing I
Oh,
did.
it actually is.
Joey B.
Oh, my God.
Rob Squares.
Polly.
Paul. I know you're
Polly's our new producer.
I know you're not Brad. We still like. Come on, dude. Just one time.
We dumped Brad, so
come say
we
hi.
have Polly Shore as our new producer.
Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
Come say hi.
He's over there doing a dance. It's
all right, buddy.
I love that guy. He's great.
He's good. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
I think he's a good guy. He's just trying to provide for his family.
Right.
He keeps running into right
Delinquents.
Back
to the fucking Rob Squared.
Yeah. Anyway.
Rob Squared.
Buddy.
He almost acts like Andy Dick. They're similar, right?
No. To me, well, they're both annoying.
Very annoying.
Sorry, hey, Paul. Paul, we're talking more about Andy. Pauly Shore's is more iconic.
Right. Well, we have to say that because he's right over there. So we're back, and we're better than ever. And the nice thing is we're actually in comfortable attire. We're not making fools of ourselves. We're not losing bets, and we loved it, though.
Yeah.
He looked gorgeous coming from, as he would say.
I've never had more compliments on my tits.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
Good tits. So this is a kind of a late night fun pod. We've been hanging out for about 10 hours now. I decided not to drive home.
Good.
Let's just keep on having fun. Let's record. We've been editing all day on our
White Claws.
Yeah, White Claws. We're very manly.
Also, we have something big in the works, I think.
We do.
We were talking about our peepees earlier.
Yeah, our peepees. It's our pillar players.
Yeah. So.
And instead of flag players, we're doing our pillars.
Well, I'm just really...
That's coming out.
I have a huge PP that I'm ready to expose.
So big.
On film. I mean,
it's going to be big. I mean...
I'm really excited for it.
Kind of like Pee Wee Herman, Unfortunately, he had a small PP, and he did it in the public bathroom.
This is my... I'm expecting Pee Wee come see my PP and get excited, but hopefully not in the same way. Because whenever I say pee-pee, people think it's something silly.
Yeah, well, because it sounds silly.
Might be time to get serious.
It might be time to not wear women's clothes, get down to the brass tacks.
So how are we going to make money?
Boom.
You think so?
How are we going to make money? We're going to make money on these prop bets we're about to run through here for you. Now, these are the prop bets we love. We can't stop betting.
We have
if we haven't bet them, we're about to soon.
Yeah.
And most of these I have at least $50 on.
Yeah.
As do you.
Yeah, I have something in my back pocket, my Kyler Murray stack bet.
Yeah.
Which, look out for that, because to me, that's a risk-free bet.
Mm-hmm.
Risk-free bet. However, we're talking about, I think we're going positions.
More player props bets opposed to like the parlay bets or like the, you have a couple of those like the guys to win.
Just to emphasize, just to clarify, the Kyler Murray stack is it's almost a 4-tier bet. These are individual bets that we're confident in versus if this happens, this happens.
Yeah, we're not trying to win big. We're just trying to double our money as in betting a line of a game. So let's
you enjoy the bet or player the entire year.
Right. Yes. Well, let's start with quarterbacks here.
All right.
And I'll give my first one.
Cool.
So this is Jared Goff. Touchdowns. It is set at 20.5. I'm going over. That is very low. 17-game season. He has to average like 1.2 touchdown passes a game if he stays healthy, which he always does. To break that, to win that.
No, I know. I'm just
super low, dude.
His career average, with the exception of his first year where he barely played, I think he's probably averaged 25 or 26.
So I'll read you his last 4 years.
Prepared.
Always prepared, man. So his first year, he had 5 touchdowns, 7 picks. That was like the awful Jeff Fisher year we talked about with
was that
Gurley.
A full year?
No, he came in like week 8. It was the awful vanilla offense.
Yeah.
So starting from 17 to 20, so we're at the last 4 years.
When McVay came.
Yes. 28, 32, 22, 20. So 20 and 22 were the last 2 years.
So his completion percentage?
65%.
No, I'm saying those are his completion.
Those are his touchdowns.
Oh. Because the way everybody talks about him,
you'd think it'd be 15.
You would think those are his completion percentage.
So last year he did only have 20, but if you remember, he got banged up. He only played 15 games.
Okay.
So he missed 1, but he left 1.
Okay.
So we'll say that's 14 games, right? Because he didn't have a touchdown in the game he left.
Sure.
So, again, last year was terrible. He played awful. The team still made the playoffs somehow. They were, like, babying him and not really giving him, they weren't giving him the range of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
They were trusting in their defense. So, but if he were to play every game, which the previous 3 years, he's never missed a game in his career until then. It was a thumb injury, right? A phantom thumb injury.
Yeah. I remember.
Which happens to quarterbacks.
He played in the playoffs.
Yeah, and he was back.
Yeah.
They won a playoff game.
Well, they beat the Cardinals.
Yes.
And then they,
Yes. So, in the year before, it was bad 22, but he has 32 and 28 on his resume. And, yeah, Detroit's not going to be good, but you don't think he can throw 21 touchdowns in 17 games? Like, he's not going to get benched. There's no one behind him.
So he has to average. So his career average sounds mid-20s.
Yes.
He has to average a good 20% lower than his career average.
And you're adding a game. Like, so yeah, you're right. Like average.
And here's the reason.
Just to win.
Here's the reason I like that. Is how is Detroit going to score offensively?
They got to throw the ball.
Well, of course
they're going to run the ball.
But that obviously our expectations are Swift and Jamal Williams.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like there's still some pretty good expectations for them.
They also have a great O-line.
Yeah.
The weapons aren't great. T.J. Hawkinson's okay.
Yeah,
we love Amon St. Brown.
Most of the time, when you have a quarterback, which Goff was considered a franchise quarterback for every year up until this last 6 months, right? Like he got paid like one. He got a huge contract. So most of the time, when you have a franchise quarterback, what's the thing holding him back? A bad offensive line. He's going from one of the worst offensive lines to one of the better offensive lines.
Worse weapons, but still more time. A coach that believes in him. Maybe isn't going to be in his ear all the time.
You know what it reminds me of? Is Tannehill getting traded from
money, baby,
Miami,
right? Given up on, even though he showed some nice signs in Miami, but he was stuck with Adam Gase. They were losing. He had all the talents. Now look what Ryan Tannehill is, one of the most efficient passers the league's ever seen the last 2 years.
He's
you know what I mean?
Literally, I still don't believe it.
Yeah,
like
he's throwing 470 times a year and having 34 touchdowns.
In terms of fantasy rostering, I still refuse to believe
it.
Right.
Well, Jared Goff is a better prospect than Ryan Tannehill was.
Much younger, 10 years younger.
Like, no, like when they got traded, Goff is 25. I think Tannehill was probably 27. So
no, Tannehill. Okay. I was going to say 28.
Now, yeah, but he was the number one pick for a reason, mostly because of his good looks. Because we talked about this in the previous pod. He had been playing quarterback in Varsity Blues.
No,
you know what I mean? That's Paul Walker, actually.
Yeah.
But it's hard to commit.
Was it really?
Yes, yeah. Paul Walker got hurt, then James Vanderbeek came in.
Was Paul Walker Sunshine? Who was the Sunshine guy? What movie? Oh, remember the Titans. Sunshine.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I know all Paul Walker movies.
I think that was Paul Walker, too.
I love Paul Walker. Erica's face is going to be right over me right now in this cutaway. Well, Paul Walker, rip, by the way. So we spent a lot of time on Jared Goff. We should probably move on. We're both very passionate about Jared Goff, right? We think he's a good player and he's super undervalued. Like I've been taking him in every best ball draft I can.
Yeah.
Because you get him as 28th quarterback off the board.
So,
redraft off the radar.
So let me ask you: when you want to make that bet, do you feel like that's a sure thing, or do you think that's a little bit of a reach?
Not a reach at all.
All right. Do you have?
I can tell you why I like it because Jared Goff, if he, barring injury, because he's not getting benched, right? No. David Blau is behind him, and it's awful. There's nobody. There's no prospect behind him like a Kellen Mond.
I think Goff is going to have, even if he fizzles out, let's say we're completely wrong on him, he'll have 2 good years of starting.
Yes.
Right.
So I feel like his low end, barring injury, which every player has injury risks, but not him because he's played 16 games every year but one.
Very impressive. Came back in the playoff game when he didn't start.
18 if it goes absolutely awful. They're the worst team in the league. He sucks. He gets 18. His upside is 30 touchdowns.
For sure.
So if his number's at 20.5, if you're losing that bet, you're losing it by 1 touchdown pass.
Yeah.
If you win it, you might win it by 10.
Yeah.
But, odds are he wins at 6 or 7 or 8 out of 10. I think 7 or 8.
You're tugging at my heartstrings because even though I'm a Bears fan, or from Chicago, I don't really describe myself as a Bears fan. I like who I like. I like quarterbacks, and I gravitate to those teams, which Fields might be a product of that. Anyways, for some reason, there's something about Detroit this year that screams undervalued to me.
Screams competitive, but we have to move on from Jared Goff. There's one player.
You're right. Who do you got for is there some
I'm going to give you my second name. We're going to go through this real quick because we've talked about it before.
You have someone else. Sorry. Go ahead.
Russell Wilson. This would be my safe one. This is my not under the radar guy.
Just if you want to double your money.
Russell Wilson's at 33.5. Now that's a pretty high number.
Touchdowns?
Yes. Pretty high number. But I'm going to read you off the last 4 years. He's got 34, 35, 31, and 40. Last year being the 40.
Yeah.
That's a 35 average. And we're adding a game. You're adding an extra, an extra year of experience with him and DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett, they just signed. He's not old. People think he's old. He's like 28, 29. They drafted Eskridge. They have another down the field threat. Their offensive line is going to be improved. He's got something to prove. I just feel like it's not a smash, but I do think there's a chance he throws 50 touchdowns this year.
What are the odds on something like that?
I didn't look at that, but
probably even money, right around
for what? The 33.5 is minus 110. So not terrible odds.
Even money, you're paying. So when we say minus 110, essentially what you're doing, let's say you bet $100. Let's say you bet $10. You make $90 or $9 on that $10. And the reason they do that is because you and I were to bet. Let's say I was a bookie, and in person, what would happen is if you lost the bet, you give me the extra 10% now. But online, because you're putting the money up front, you take that 10% loss on your winnings. So
correct. So I feel like there's a chance he throws 50 touchdowns. A reasonable chance. He's hungry. He's never won MVP. He starts getting to that point.
He's the best player in that division.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, dude. One of the best of all time,
Hall of Famer.
Man.
He's a Hall of Famer.
So his upside's 50. What is his downside? In his last 4 years, I can tell you his downside is 31.
Yeah,
that's 2 under the number.
Yeah,
and that's with 16 games. And one thing about Russell Wilson, he's missed 1 game in his career. And okay, I said that about Jared Goff. Jared Goff's played 4 years plus his rookie year, which is barely playing. Russell Wilson's played 9 years.
Okay.
So you missed 1 game in 9 years. At this point, it's not a fluke.
Yeah.
He's protected the league protects him like they protected Tom Brady, Drew Brees.
I don't think it's a league protect. To me, again, I know I'm going to reference this a million times. I think it's the baseball players know how to slide. They know how to fall.
I mean, protected in the pocket when he gets hit. You remember how Drew Brees could get hit in the neck and they call a personal foul?
Yeah. My point is, I think that there's a skill to knowing how to fall.
100%.
How to get hit. And I think someone like Russ knows how to get, I think he's one of the more intelligent, just hearing him
speak. He's definitely one of the most intelligent.
People were talking about, with Peyton Manning's Hall of Fame speech, about how he's maybe the next commissioner.
I don't know if you want to go down that road.
No, not Peyton. Just. But Russ, to me, seems to be on that same level of intellectual, at least the ability to communicate.
Yes. Yeah. He's going to be the next politician. He might be president one day.
Because I hear all the time in the locker room how everyone says Russ isn't black enough or whatever, but I don't. When people are looking for a leader, I don't think they're looking for. I'm trying to fucking dance around these words, but a thug. They're not looking for someone that's a gangster. They're not looking for someone that's hardcore.
They don't want Aaron Hernandez in their fucking locker room, dude.
Not even so much that. Someone that has such an ego, not as your leader, because that what the leader is leading towards what he wants. I think Russ genuinely cares about a lot of the people he plays with. So it's
true. And he is definitely a leader. So
I don't think there's anyone in that locker room that doesn't believe in Russell Wilson.
Let's get to your quarterbacks here.
Oh, I have some too. All right, you're right.
Let's go.
So what are we doing? We're doing
prop bets.
Okay. So, well, I know one right off the bat, and I did take a little bit of notes here. I'm trying to be a little better about being a little more direct with my comments here. What Joey be? I mean,
is he a member of the Jersey Shore?
Yeah, Paulie's over there. Paulie's pretty excited. We can't. We're on a time crunch, Paulie.
Paulie Shore is part of the Cincy Shore, so
no. So to me, Burrow obviously came in, and I think he was. I mean, before Herbert really came on, Burrow was the obvious rookie of the year. It's the way he was playing. He made plays that were exciting. I mean, I don't know if you can. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but just watching him, it was exciting. It felt like we were watching a star being born, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going a little off the beaten track based on what you're talking about. But for my first prop bet is going to be Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year.
Ooh.
And
what are the odds on that, baby?
The reason I like this is, one, the odds is 7-1.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
God,
7-1.
The beer's coming back up that one.
Because
it's good.
It's simple because I think that he scratched his potential on a one of the worst teams in the NFL. They were competing for the worst record, right? He's coming back with a revamped offense a little bit. I mean, a second year, another receiver. I'm not
improved O-line. It has to be.
I'm not thrilled about their offensive roster in general, but I think Burrow is the type of person that can turn that around and do something special with it. Throw right around 40 touchdowns.
Yes.
I think his competition for comeback player of the year, probably Prescott.
Yes, Dak would be there.
Maybe
I'm sure Dak's like 2-1, dude.
Maybe like Christian McCaffrey,
guys like that.
But to me, I think the fact that Joe Burrow has the pedigree, the hype, the first overall pick coming in, the untapped potential with the injury, I think the storyline is there. If he succeeds and throws 38, no, I think if he sniffs mid-30s in terms of touchdowns thrown, I don't know how.
Right.
Unless Dak goes off. Unless Dak...
Which he might. But...
throws for the 7,000 yards he was... But you know what I'm saying? To me, I think... to me, it's just very simple. I think Burrow's going to have a hell of a year. I don't know. I don't see much competition. Maybe Dak. And the fact that he's in Dallas, a huge market, it hurts him. But I think Joe Burrow's hype prior, it will pick back up once he has 1 4-touchdown game in the first 3 weeks. Then that hype train starts.
There you go.
And 7-1, right? So
and you're getting on the fucking ground floor there.
Yeah, it's 7-1 because
no one's talking about him.
Because in 3 weeks into the season, comeback player might be minus 120. So I think it's 7-1 right now. Sprinkle $10-$20 on it.
Yeah.
Call it $15. You're gonna win over $100.
And one last point here to just piggyback on your comment before we move to your next guy. Is so Zach Taylor, their coach. He's an offensive mind. He's an aggressive coach. And so last year when he played, it was 7 games he started or whatever. It was 6 full games. The 7th game, I think, he was when he got hurt.
Okay.
And he was averaging on pace to be within 10 or 15 pass attempts of the all-time record per game.
Yeah, he started with 600.
Or total, and so it was 1 pass attempt per game under the all-time record of pass attempts. So he wants to throw the ball.
He averaged over 40 pass attempts per game in those games.
I think it was 43, because Herbert ended up averaging
over 40. I don't know.
Yeah, it was more than Herbert last year.
Well, no, Burrow was the offense.
It was 43 pass attempts a game.
If Cincinnati's going to have any success on offense, it's going to be because of Burrow.
And Joe Mixon. But.
Well, I just think guys like McCaffrey, I think he's more of a victim of circumstance, where I think Burrow can make his circumstance. Mm-hmm. And I think Dallas has too much pressure on them. I think they have too many. I think they have too many weapons as well. Where Burrow, I feel like people think Burrow did it himself, right?
Even though his names are just not as big. All right, who's your second guy?
Obvious one, man. I didn't even bring it up because I want to talk about it a little bit more later, but it's Kyler Murray at MVP.
Oh, sorry, you have a boner. Well, I saw something sticking out of your pant. I'm like, holy shit. Whenever he thinks of this guy.
Paul, he tossed me a pillow.
Yeah. Come on, Paul. Be careful. He's a little bi-curious. He might do something to that thing there.
Nope. Not the flashlight, the pillow.
Zing.
All right, but
what is your Kyler Murray thing?
It's gone.
Is it a passing thing? Is it a rushing thing?
No. So to me, I'm a big card collector, so I want to kind of bridge that gap a little bit right now. A lot of people, a big section of the card collecting industry, because it's booming right now. Honestly, it's huge. Right? That's a whole nother video. But the people that go in and are looking at maybe fantasy draft values or ADPs, things like that, or just in general, the people that are looking at younger quarterbacks, for some reason, there's a big blind spot to Kyler Murray to me. Rookie of the year, Pro Bowl the second year.
Heisman.
Literally, people are so high on the Rams. The Rams and the Cardinals were fighting down to the fourth quarter
of the last
for
game.
the playoff spot. That's how different those two teams were. And Kyler was not the same. To me, the weapons around Kyler that were added, AJ Green, even in these games it sounds like a draft from 2-3 years ago. But AJ Green, James Conner, they added the offensive linemen. I think Kyler is a winner in general. I mean, I could talk about him all day, so I'm trying to pick my words
Well,
wisely.
what's the bet?
The bet is that Kyler Murray wins MVP, and it's at 20-1 odds.
Ooh.
Which
I've already placed that bet personally. So.
Oh, I've placed that bet.
He's probably placed like 5 of them. Every day is like only 10 on this one. Only 10.
Yeah, I sacrifice eating.
It hasn't gone down since that. It hasn't gotten worse.
I think it was 25, maybe.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought
maybe a month. I don't recall because I never.
Because I also have Russell. I bet on Kyler and Russell.
Mm-hmm.
They were both 20-1 odds.
Yeah.
And I put $4 on both of them, which isn't a big bet, but to win $80,
that's
like it's. And I feel like those two are half of the.
So $8. So you got 10-1 odds on either Kyler or Russ.
Yeah, and I feel like they have half of the chance to get it, with
so
Brady. I guess Brady, Mahomes, and Josh Allen would be the other guys. Maybe Lamar.
I mean, it's difficult for me to encapsulate why I think Kyler is going to do well because I think it's a team effort for him.
They have to win.
I think, Kyler, to me, he's improved his stats every single year. I see for Kyler, he's going to flirt with 45 to 50 total touchdowns. But what I think separates him...
8 or 9 rushing, too.
Exactly. That's my point, is I think that what separates him is he's going to be probably the most efficient rushing quarterback of all time by the middle of his career. Because I think there's going to be more rushing quarterbacks that come along in the future. But right now, I think that Kyler is the standard for the balance between passing and rushing. I don't think there's a combo.
Right. Better passer than Lamar.
Of course.
Better rusher than Josh Allen.
I think he's a comparable rusher. Like Lamar, I think they're comparable in speed. I think Kyler's more shifty.
Yeah.
I think Lamar's he has a longer stride. I think
Lamar has more of running back traits. Kyler's more of a returner. You get him, he's like
which is I think
Dante Hall, bro.
I think Lamar has long strides, and once he gets if he can make you miss with that first move, it's not a poo-poo on Lamar at all.
That's why Lamar doesn't have a lot of rushing touchdowns.
The only one in the same atmosphere as Kyler rushing, in my opinion, right now, is Lamar Jackson.
Right,
and I think they're similar but slightly different rushing styles. But I think in terms of passing, heads and shoulders above, Kyler is a better passer.
100%.
I think he has a better offense around him in general. Like
Lamar also takes more hits because he's more of a running back. Like I think Kyler doesn't get hit because he either slides or he just jukes a dude and gets in the end zone.
Yeah,
like we could show a play, like the number one play on your Kyler Murray for MVP video.
Oh,
just the fast feet, dude. Like it's it looks like the cartoon.
He did that twice a game. I just picked one.
Cartoon where you got Wile E. Coyote or whatever when they spin their wheels. But instead of spinning his wheels, like every foot hits, and it just he's a jitterbug, man. He's not human.
No, so I trust me. I want to talk about Kyler all day. We need to move on. We need to move on.
So we'll get to running backs later. Let's take a little break, and we'll be back.
I like that. Yeah.